We're moving to the green and digital direction, and now I will invite the OECD Deputy Environment Director, Kumi Kitamori, and she will be joining us remotely. And as the conference has two working languages, the ones present here can access interpretation via headphones, but those of you joining online can have interpretation online in YouTube and no interpretation on the LDDK website. But now, Kumi Kitamori.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, good morning in your time zone. I'm very happy for the OECD to be joining this very important conversation to take place today. We just heard about the twin transition, but I would like to start by acknowledging that they are actually unidentical twins, going green and going digital. On the one hand, the climate crisis has put us in a situation of existential risk, with current policy pathways putting us on a track for over 3 degrees Celsius of warming compared to pre-industrial level, with disastrous impacts, including extreme weather events. We just heard that in the news yesterday in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, they are suffering unprecedented flooding. And actually, my colleagues are stuck there, and we don't know if they're able to come back. I mean, who would have thought that kind of thing could happen? So we are in a dire situation. We need to speed up and scale up our green transition. And on the other hand, green transition is not necessarily a goal in itself, but means to achieve greater prosperity, as we heard already earlier. We can harness digital technologies to achieve faster, fairer, and more effective green transition in various different ways. So today, I would like to talk about 4 key areas where synergies between green and digital transitions can be leveraged together. Next slide, please. So the first point is, how do we do this? We can boost targeted, effective green and digital skills training to take full advantage of economic opportunities of both transitions. Both the green and digital transition can offer enormous opportunities in terms of jobs in green sectors, economic growth, and also international competitiveness. To fully seize these opportunities, our labor markets must be able to adapt to these transitions. This is, however, not currently the case. Our OECD analysis shows that speed of environmental and digital transformations is outpacing the rate of change in our education and skills policies and their capacity to respond to emerging needs in society and labor markets. According to our recent OECD Skills Outlook that you see on the screen, we urgently need to focus efforts to, 1, improve information processing skills such as literacy, numeracy, digital literacy to allow individuals to access, analyze, interpret, and organize and communicate such information. 2, prioritize the acquisition of social, emotional, and communication skills. And 3, and raise awareness of the role of metacognitive skills, meaning the ability to think about and regulate one's own thinking process, monitor and evaluate one's own learning and understanding, and plan, set goals, and adjust strategies to meet these goals. So overcoming the skills shortage is also essential in ensuring that both transitions are fair and leave no one behind. Again, the OECD analysis of the EU's Fit for 55 policy package projects that by 2030, 3% fall in employment for blue-collar and farm workers on the one hand, while increase of 45% for other types of occupations. The overall job losses from the transitions to net zero are expected to be rather small, but this will be disproportionately larger in certain sectors and regions. So these workers could transfer ideally to green jobs with moderate upskilling or updating through training with, for example, green technologies, but many will need far more training. So skills and job transition may be possible, but require further effort. Next slide, please. Achieving this will require improved access to training, particularly for low-skilled workers who, as you will see from this particular chart, are substantially less likely to participate in training or vocational training than high-skilled workers. In fact, low-skilled workers are over 3 times less likely to participate in training than high-skilled workers across the OECD on average. Next slide, please. Now, the second point. We can find synergies in going digital and going green by accelerating research on digital technologies to support the green transition. Digital technologies such as smart meters, artificial intelligence, and digital sensors, which, for example, can work together to monitor real-time power consumption to help consumers better manage their energy use. All these things can serve as key enablers for climate action and environmental sustainability, while at the same time allowing firms to achieve efficiency gains and reduce costs. For example, the World Business Council on Sustainable Development is currently testing the use of digital technology and AI-supported modeling to help companies to calculate emissions from their supply chain. This is what we call the Scope 3 emissions. Importantly, digital technology can also be used for better adaptation to climate change. For example, the European Commission's Destination Earth project, which aims at creating a detailed digital replica of the Earth to monitor weather extremes and simulate scenarios to improve adaptation policy. And over in Japan, the prefecture of Tokyo is using digital technology to improve disaster preparedness by taking advantage of high-speed and high-capacity connectivity to ensure timely and resilient communication. To accelerate those and other similar research efforts on digital technology that enables the green transition, it is essential for public and private sector to work together. Governments need to incentivize green technology adoption, including through increased public support for research, development, and demonstration, and creating green procurement guidelines, for example. Now, next slide, please. Now, third point. We can go green and digital by improving SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, improving SMEs' access to and also adoption of digital technologies to encourage low carbon and circular business models. SMEs are critical actors in global climate efforts, not only as drivers of technological change, but also as adopters of green business models and practices to reduce their carbon footprint. In fact, OECD analysis shows that SMEs across, on average in OECD countries, account for between 37% and 41% of all business sector greenhouse gas emissions. They are also, of course, key economic players, accounting for some 60% of global, OECD average total employment. Digitalization can open up new business opportunities for SMEs by enabling low carbon and circular models, such as sharing economy models, an online market for second-hand or repaired products, as well as improving product lifecycle traceability. Now, our analysis also highlights that up to 70% of SMEs have intensified their use of digital technology following the COVID-19 crisis. But SMEs often still face barriers to adoption of both green and digital solutions, such as lack of labor skills, as we talked about already, and also access to finance. So therefore, it's essential to support these enterprises in their capacity to develop, implement, and manage green and digital solutions. On the policy side, this will include removing barriers to finance access for sustainability or green project and creating an enabling regulatory environment for creation of innovation and green startups. Now, cities and regional governments are often better placed to provide policy support to SMEs than national governments, particularly in providing the local economic development and business support programs to complement national green transition policies. And in fact, as you see on the map, I hope it's visible. I can't see from where I'm sitting. Cities and regions oversee 2/3 of climate-related public spending and investment. And so therefore, they have a huge role to play in delivering global climate and development objectives. This is to recognize, for example, by the European Commission's cities mission. They're very active in this area, and that program aims to support some 100 cities in becoming climate neutral and smart cities by 2030. So I don't know if it's large enough. In your room, this map of Europe, this program includes Riga and Liepaja, if you can see. Now, my next and last slide, please, and that's a fourth topic that I would like to leave you with, is in helping the twin transition, is better managing the negative environmental impacts of digital transition. The rapid growth in digital technologies, including data centers and servers, has a large and rapidly growing carbon footprint. For example, a single transaction of Bitcoins in 2021 generated the same level of carbon dioxide emissions as a seat on a passenger flight from Amsterdam to New York. Now, in the field of AI, deep learning and large language models have increased computing demands dramatically, raising sustainability concerns. And also e-waste or electronic waste, as you see from this figure, from old and outdated devices, it's a rapidly growing issue as well. And now e-waste is the fastest growing solid waste stream in the world. About 53.6 million metric tons of e-waste, or that translates to 7.3 kilograms for every person in the world, was generated in 2019. Also, mining for minerals used in electronic devices also have adverse environmental impacts, including deforestation, water pollution, and biodiversity loss, which need to be better managed. To help countries to address these challenges, OECD is currently revisiting our legal recommendation on ICTs and the environment, and is advancing efforts for more accurate and reliable measures for the environmental impacts from computing. So to conclude, we clearly have a lot to do to make sure that the digital transition and the grand transitions are inclusive, successful, and also sustainable. At the OECD, we are supporting governments in their efforts to advance both transitions by developing indicators, because we can't manage things we cannot measure, in the area related to green and digital transitions, including tracking progress towards climate objectives, emissions, climate impacts and risks, technology adoption, investment, job skills, and patent filing, as well as providing evidence-based policy analysis and policy guidance, issuing government-backed national and international standards, and facilitating international dialogue like this so we can exchange information on what works and best practices. Now, embracing the benefit of digitalization in achieving a net zero society is a tremendous but achievable challenge. We have an extraordinary opportunity now with digital technologies and AI to put things right for people, planet, and prosperity. So thank you for organizing this event, and then I wish you all a very successful and fruitful discussion for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Paldies, Kumi. Thank you for your presentation.
Yes, it was great that we actually heard about Bitcoin, about e-waste, as well as Kumi already said. This is a very paramount issue in the whole world.